strong women who are doing exciting things. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name, Stan.
Catherine. My name is Catherine. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
My name is Catherine.
What grade are you in?
I'm going to 8th grade.
And where do you go to school?
Black Rock Middle School.
In?
Villanova.
Okay, good. Okay.
Terrific. Well, Catherine, you're going to meet some strong women and, who are doing very interesting things. And if you need a role model, I think there are a whole bunch of them here, whole group of them who are taking initiatives, doing stuff. And Nidu, you wanted to start off? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
we are ready to start. So we're recording this call on YouTube so that we can share it with our future applicants. Thank you so much for joining this call and welcome everyone to the TiE New Jersey Women Special Interest Group. I'm delighted to introduce you to our TiE NJ Women who are spearheading this initiative. And I also want to welcome the President, Raman Kapoor. He is here with us, and I'd like to invite him to say a few words before we start the session today.
Yeah, well, thank you, Nidu. And, one of the initiatives that Nidu is most proud of, and she has quite a number of them over the past few years, she's really brought TiE New Jersey to a different level from where it was, because it virtually had disintegrated the chapter. And now we have 91 charter members, which is quite fabulous. And thank you, Nidu, for that. But one of the initiatives Nidu is most proud of, and the one she really owns, is finding good leaders in Shailja and in Prema to establish this wonderful special interest group of women entrepreneurs. So understandably, she's most proud of it. We're proud of the accomplishments of the members of this group and what they represent. Strong women grow strong entrepreneurs, whether it's females or males. So we're very, very supportive of this group. The good thing is that Suresh is totally committed to supporting it. And just for your information, Suresh is will be president of TiE New Jersey effective July 1st. Yeah, he's the incoming president. And in selecting the new president, this was one of the criteria that we had, that he should be a strong supporter of women's entrepreneurship. Suresh is a serial entrepreneur. He's a professor of entrepreneurship at New Jersey Institute of Technology, where he himself has been supporting many women entrepreneurs as well. So he is just a great candidate for this position. And well, I am proud and happy that this is the last meeting of TiE New Jersey that I will be attending as president. So thank you, Nidu. And thank you, Shailja, for what you are doing, and Prema, and Nev, over to you for the rest of the meeting.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Raman. And it goes with that. I must mention here that everything that I do it because I have a terrific mentor in Raman and all the charter members that I engage with. Having 5-10 minutes of conversations with each one of the members has been extremely rewarding for me. And I do this because I'm passionate, because when I needed some help, I didn't know where to go. And I was very lucky to find TiE to learn and expand my horizons. And I hope that you all will find a rewarding experience engaging with TiE as well. So with that, I would like to invite Nivedita. Among the many women who lead this initiative here at TiE New Jersey, she is our program champion, and she has volunteered to do this because she is passionate about the the initiative that we have for TiE women especially. And over to you, Nivedita. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Neetu. Thanks so much. Hello, everyone. Very, very nice to have you all here as we launch our women's pitch competition. This is kind of the first meeting where we're going to introduce the pitch competition and, talk a little bit about the competition itself and also get some really valuable insights from Shailja and Raghu Rao, who are here with us today. Neetu, if you can allow me to share my screen. For some reason, it says it's disabled. Okay, came through. Thank you. Do you all see my screen? Just thumbs up. Neetu, you see my screen?
Yes, you're good to
Okay,
go.
awesome. Yeah, so I think thank you, Neetu, for introducing the TiE leadership. Suresh is traveling; he's unable to be here with us today. But just want to introduce the women's special interest group. Like Neetu said, I'm the program champion. Very passionate about entrepreneurship. I have started 2 startups in the past, and now I have my own consulting firm in M&A consulting. And really, excited to be with TiE. I became a charter member a couple of months ago. I found this network of women and men very, it's a very high caliber of people. I've enjoyed meeting and networking with folks here, so would highly recommend, joining TiE or reach out to me if you'd like to talk. Shailja, if you want to give a quick introduction, that'll be great.
I'll be very brief and quick. Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for joining. I'm Shailja Dixit. I am CEO and founder of Curio Digital, which is a startup. We have raised a fund and, continue to launch and grow. All I can say for, this TiE special interest group, I'm part of many incubators. I urge you all to go out and talk to your connects and use this platform as kind of incubator. It's a unique opportunity. It's not easy to get. Sometimes you have to pay a lot of money to get in such kind of incubators. You have people like Raghu, Suresh, Raman, and many more who you can learn from. So that's just my 1 cent. I would like, I would like to throw out as an advice and recommendation for others who are listening. So back to you, Nivi, to take us through the program. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Yeah, in the interest of time, I want to spend a few minutes talking about the pitch competition itself. And I also believe a lot of you are new to TiE. So just want to give an overview of TiE Global, TiE New Jersey, the pitch competition itself. So there's a lot of things to talk about. Want to quickly introduce that before we go into our, mentoring session. Thank you, Neetu. All right, so a bit about the, TiE Global and, what it's all about, right? So TiE Global is a nonprofit organization really devoted to fostering entrepreneurship. So, there are the whole ecosystem of entrepreneurs and everyone around them, like VCs, private equity, angels, technology management professionals, all of them. It's sort of this ecosystem of and a network of entrepreneurs, and it has 57 chapters across 14 countries. So it's a big network. Since being founded in 1992, like 30 years ago, it's really grown to 57 chapters and 2,800 charter members. And really the goal is to support startups through mentoring, networking, education, incubation, and funding. TiE Women, you'll see a lot of initiatives under TiE Global here on the left. TiE Women is a subgroup or subgroup within TiE Global with the vision of to embrace, engage, and empower women entrepreneurs across the globe through all of these various resources and networks, right? Through learning, mentoring, access to funding, scalability, and community. So that is TiE Women. And what we, like how Neetu introduced it, we in New Jersey created a special interest group for TiE Women that really is, trying to advance this mission of TiE Global and TiE Women. With that said, there are all these programs under the TiE Women umbrella. And we're here today talking about the global pitch competition, which is that first one that you see. It is a pitch, basically, it is a pitch competition for women-led early and late-stage startups with a chance to win equity-free cash prize. And this year it is, the finals are in Singapore. There are other programs as well under the TiE Women umbrella, which we would love to, see this take off in a big way, including like active workshops, Connect series, Investor Connect, etc. So that's a bit about TiE and the TiE Women programs. I did want to share the winners and just a preview of the winners from the last couple of years. I think it's quite inspiring in terms of, the nature of startups, and it's just very encouraging, inspiring, and these women are really out there with some breakthrough products or solutions, right, in their particular segments. So, just some examples. Neha Jain, this was the 2021 winner. And her startup is creating bio alternatives and ocean safe packaging materials from seaweed. Likewise, there are a couple of others here. I'm not going to go through each one, but just really wanted to share, so as an inspiration for all our applicants, and also to see just what the nature of applications are. This was the 2022 winners, and Azima, she won $50,000 in equity-free cash prize. She has created South Asia's largest deaf accessibility service provider with a focus on technology. So it's kind of the Google Translate for sign language. Likewise, there are, these, the first runner-up, second runners-up, they're more in the healthcare space. So just wanted to put that out there. It's just very inspiring to see all these women who, and really, take their startups to the global map, right? They're going, this is not about, just about New Jersey. It's about having an opportunity to present your startup at a global forum. So, this year's pitch competition, like we mentioned, the grand finale is in Singapore in November. And, it's really, going through, maybe we can go through the timeline here first. We've already put out the eligibility criteria and all of that, but, just in terms of the overall timeline, there is a local competition and there's a global competition. So, the local one is what we are going through right now. So first, the first step is to apply, of course. So if you think you fit this eligibility criteria, please go ahead and apply. We will have a lot of, these Mentor Connect accelerator sessions to help coach and, prepare these, our selected participants for pitching in the final pitch competition. So, the semifinals is on August 14th, and the finals is on August 30th. So that's kind of the local timeline. And if selected in the local chapter finals, that particular, the entrepreneur or the team goes on to the global pitch competition. So that's a little bit. I mean, Neetu, did I miss anything? Please feel free to add. I'm sure there's some other additional details here.
No, we are tracking very well. Thank you so much, Nev. I think the big announcement you're missing is that TiE New Jersey will be sponsoring the flight tickets to Singapore for the chapter winner. And room and board is also sponsored by TiE Singapore and TiE Global. So I think that's just fantastic, and it shows how the chapter is supporting the women entrepreneurs and allowing them to pitch at such a fantastic global platform. And we're very excited to be part of this pitch competition for the first year. So good luck and welcome, everyone.
Awesome. So,
Nev, I also see Komal on the call, if you would like to invite her.
Yeah, Komal, thank you for joining us. Would you like to say a few words on the pitch competition?
Well, thank you, Nev and Neetu. Great presentation so far. Very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I think you've covered everything. One thing I do want to say is congratulations for joining the program for the first time. We're very excited to have New Jersey on the global program. We are, as Neetu and Niv both said, I personally am an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, what I've learned from TiE and the network that TiE has given me personally is unprecedented. The kind of support I have received. A little bit of background how this program started. This started with just a small idea in TiE Detroit and TiE Colorado, where I am from, and we wrote a grant to Department of State, and we got money from Department of State to run a women's program in India in 2016. So that's how this started, and we had to have TiE. We kind of showcased the whole program in India for 3 years, and it was so successful that TiE just adopted that entire program. So I've been associated with TiE Women since 2016 now. Now at the global as one of the global co-chairs, but I'm very excited that New Jersey is joining. It's not official yet, but we may be there are a lot of applications that are coming at the global level right now. So this July 10th may slip a little bit, not much, but we'll keep you posted. That's something that I just found out this morning. Back to you.
Thank you, Komal.
Thank you so much, Komal, for joining the call. And thank you so much for doing what you're doing for the TiE women at the global front. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for inviting.
Yeah. Awesome. I think we're doing well on time. I just wanted to say, given that today's session is just 1 hour, there might not be a ton of time for questions. So please put your questions in the chat, and we'll try to either answer them here or follow up after the event. So with that, really wanted to get to Raghu and Shailja's mentoring session. Raghu Rao is a serial entrepreneur, investor, advisor. Shailja is the CEO of Curio Digital Therapeutics. So really excited to have them both talk and share some of their insights on how you create a winning pitch. So Raghu, on to you. And if you'd like, Raghu, I can stop sharing my screen as well if you have any content to share.
Yeah, I think I have some slides, but I want to use it only as needed, because I think it's important to have interaction. So welcome everyone. I really, TiE Women, I think, is off to a strong start here, as Raman mentioned. also I think that chapter itself is now kind of rejuvenated, which is very nice. Thanks to Neetu. And so I think we are looking forward to really doing a lot more, events, and especially the mentoring part, which I enjoy doing. So I think, as Shailja, maybe given that Shailja is a woman entrepreneur and has raised like $10 million, she can actually address a lot of the questions, from a entrepreneur's viewpoint. So I think maybe we can, address different questions, and, happy to do that. There is, so Shailja, do you want to just kind of pick a question, and, we kind of both,
Yeah, so
or
Raghu,
do you
thank
have
you.
some
Yeah,
format?
first of all, thanks for joining and your valuable time here. I think what I was hoping that since you have so many years of tenure and you have been advising so many companies, maybe we can start with you, like when you are looking at as on the other side, right, of the table, I can tell some pain points of recently going through. You sit now on both the sides, or rather 3 sides, as an entrepreneur, somebody in the investment committee and advising them, and also have raised fund recently, plus advisor too. I think, I would like to maybe first start with you and say, what are the key essential elements when, we have many, there will be people of various level in their journey of entrepreneurship on this call. So when an entrepreneur is starting a journey, as they are thinking their eye towards this pitch competition, what are the key elements in a pitch that any investor is looking at when you're sitting on the other side of the table? I mean, how to go
Sure. I
about
think, first, I think you should have a very, very good, pitch deck, as well as a sales deck, for the customer. But the pitch deck, and I think also it helps to have a 1-page, teaser or infographic or something. I think, what you've done for, Curio, I really like it, your storyboard also. So I think in 1 page, if you can capture the differentiation, the story, how, and kind of the whole picture, how you, are going to progress to eventual exit. I think that is kind of very helpful. I have a graphic like that. Maybe we can share that, at some point. I think that shows that you've thought through the entire cycle. I mean, for a startup, basically, I think pre-seed, seed, and Series A is all. I think you need details. After that, it's kind of hand waving, but it's good to actually have thought through the whole process, from the beginning, so that people know that you're not at this, really, you're going to be thinking through and executing. Yeah, we have to change our plan based on how things actually pan out, but at least we need to have a plan. And so one of the things I do, say, I've recently raised money, and from the TiE angels as well. We got TiE Southern Cal angels and global angels to come in one of the startups that it's not really a startup. It's a startup from the global scene. It's a company in India, which we brought and taken it to scale up more from a kind of a lifestyle company to, really now where investors can come in and scale up and exit in, a short time frame. So that's what the investors are looking for. Your technology may be great, but, they are looking for something that when they invest, it can scale and give a good ROI to everybody, all stakeholders, the founders, employees, and of course the investors. So I think that's something to keep in mind. Sometimes, the founders get lost in how great they're, offering product, technology, whatever it is. And that's great, but if it doesn't, scale and get market traction, it's like there are a lot of great ideas, but you have to get it to where there's market traction. So I think that's something to keep in mind.
It's very helpful. Raghu, are there any do not do's, like things that an entrepreneur should be away from in their pitch? I think you are alluding to a few very important things that often I can tell you that when you are an entrepreneur, it's your baby. So you are just so close to the things that you miss sometimes bigger picture, as you are pointing out, that what the other side is looking at. It might be an awesome idea, you are very passionate, but if you're not able to show scalability, repeatability, and possibly an exit for investor, they will applaud your idea, but that's about it, not necessarily write a check, right? What are the things that you would advise our entrepreneurs who will be hopefully applying for this pitch competition not to have? Like, what are the things that they should keep away, that maybe tick off investors in the other direction?
Sure. I think a lot of detail on the product or technology in terms of like features and things like that, while it's important maybe even for the customer, the investors don't care really about it. There should be enough detail that you understand what is the core offering and what and also what is the pain point that's being addressed, and and how is the business model. I think those are the all more critical points than actual detail too much on the product. So I would try to balance that in the presentation. That's why I think if you have the deck and then you try to abstract it into one slide, it really kind of tells you that you have all the elements in balance. Otherwise, a lot of times, and again, I think the pitch deck should be very short with supporting detail available. If somebody asks a specific, more detailed question, you should have it so you can put it up, but it doesn't have to be part of the the main presentation, because people lose attention if you go into a little bit of detail even in the middle. So you have to, I think, keep the attention and keep it focused on the business opportunity and how not necessarily the why and then the where it can go. The how can be kind of addressed if somebody really wants it later. So that's how I would look at it.
So Raghu, I just want to summarize, because you covered a very, very important point, which I have also sitting on the other side, when applying as as a entrepreneur for investment. I think I'm just making sure that the idea is very cohesively described, right? But concise too. You talked about do show scalability, repeatability, and exit for an investor. A very important point, which I think I want audience to take away. Make sure that you are just not going at length describing your science or your commercial idea. It's great. Investors want to know it, but they don't want to see 10 slides just describing your idea. You will lose them. So that's a really, really important point. And I can just, I cannot just more agree with it, being on the other side, that how important that aspect is.
Shailja, the other thing is the team.
Please.
I think the team is extremely important. And I would focus on the team, because most investors are investing on the team.
Focus on the team. Yes, early stage, I think investors do invest on idea, on commercial aspect, on exit, but equally important on the team and their passion. Absolutely. One thing I have also heard, I'll just share, Raghu, would love to get your perspective. I kept on hearing from investors that, are you full-time in it? So if you're part-time, then don't waste my money. I want somebody who's passionate and full-time into it. So that is another, and it's a very interesting question, because there is a point when you're raising your seed money and then your investors are asking you that, oh, are you into it full time? Well, but I have to pay the bill. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, I think we call it all in. It's very important to be all in, because they invest, especially if you're taking outside money. I mean, you can be, self-funding and do whatever, but once you're taking in money from outside, I think they want to see the commitment, because that's what it is about. And absolutely, I think at least the core people, I think both on the execution and business development, I think, which are two absolutely important parts of the the company. Both, I think, should be full time. So maybe some of the other things, again, advisory board is important, because some of the places, if you don't have enough funding to bring in the full-time people, we can bring in fractional people, like CFO, for instance. You can have a fractional CFO, but some kind of CFO is needed, unless the founder himself has a good background, like a CFO. Because again, when you're taking money, you want to be able to model things and also give the confidence to the investor that you know how to kind of really use the funding creatively and make it last to the next milestone, because that's how we look at it, right? Do you have enough funding to get to the next milestone, whatever it is, from funding perspective or from sales perspective? So I think that, that's very important. Advisors can come in. Advisors are very important, especially from the not to do perspective that Shailja mentioned, because they have been there, and there's no need for us to make the mistakes to learn from that. We can learn from others' mistakes. So definitely knowing what not to do is very important. And I think the advisory board, both on the business strategic advisory board, as well as technology or scientific advisory board, depending on the type of company. I think we need both, and both I think we should try to have, in the pretty early stage, because that really gives credibility to the company. And basically people know that you will take advice, because the most important thing for a founder is being coachable.
Yeah.
And for that, I call it going from, unconscious incompetence, which means we don't know what we don't know, to conscious incompetence. We know what is needed. We have gaps in our team or our thing, and try to plug it with advisors and things like that. Then you go to conscious competence, which is, at least we have everything, all the team is built and we have things, but the goal is to get the company to unconscious competence, which means the company, already is in the DNA. Everybody knows where you're going, and it's just, really progressing without even a lot of leadership. So that's kind of, the journey.
So I hope, our audience here are taking notes, because these are some really very important pearls and, part of your pitch deck when you're applying. I just want to double click on or emphasize on what Raghu just said. I tell my team often that as an entrepreneur, every day in the morning when I get up, we take so many decisions. We have to. There is no other option. I tell my advisors and board that you're here to make sure that I take less of wrong decisions, because I am going to take wrong decisions. It's not possible that as an entrepreneur, it's surprising how many times we are taking decisions on gut because the data is just lacking as in early stage. So I tell my advisors and my board that please make sure that you let me commit less mistakes. Okay, I'm going to commit mistakes and I'm going to ask for forgiveness from that. But I just want to make sure that you all are here to make sure I don't commit as many mistakes as a usual entrepreneur would have if they didn't have a good advisory board. So that's great, Raghu. Raghu, one more thing possibly I wanted to ask you, that in early stage, sometimes it's very difficult to know what is the market opportunity or market fit rather, right? You may know market opportunity, you should know, but market fit is a very difficult thing because you are early on in your journey. What is investor looking at in a pitch when an entrepreneur is in an early journey to talk about market fit and how important it is?
Yeah, I think, I think it's a lot more challenging for somebody, business models like yours where there is regulatory compliance involved. But, if it is something you can actually pilot in the market, and get some traction from interested customers, there's nothing like that. But in regulatory type of things, it's a lot more difficult to do that. So you have to do some, like in pharma and biotech, you do preclinical studies, right? So
Yeah.
some validation, whether it is directly from the customer or from the scientific, studies, things like that is very, very important, because it shows it's just not an idea where you're kind of waving hands. You actually have, either customer traction or, traction from studies or, some type of thing where it has actually been applied and used, and you have, data to show that it works and, it's something that's needed. So I think that's very, very important. And I would do pilots with customers. If you have, I think pricing is not as important as, having one or two customers who can vouch for the need for that. I think that's very, very important.
That's very helpful. And I'm going to summarize. I'm taking notes as you are talking, and I can invite audience. Just one last question, and then I think we should open up for any questions. From a valuation perspective, when you are early on in your journey, I want to just focus just last one thing on financials, right? What is an investor looking at from a pre-seed to a seed, maybe even Series A, but definitely pre-seed and a seed company in terms of financials? What do you want to see? Because it's early on, even valuation is a tough question. So how should an entrepreneur value a company? What kind of financials you want to see as an investor from an early stage entrepreneur?
Yeah, I think everybody, as puts up a hockey stick, which is good. We do want a scalable businesses, but I think it's more important to actually think about the pricing model and get some type of validation from some potential customers. So if you have done some surveys, or if you can get somebody on the advisory board who has scaled company in that space and who can validate that your kind of go-to-market strategy will actually work, right? So you should have some validation for that, and ideally, it should be practical in terms of, suppose you're coming up with your revenue model and projections. There should be something like, for instance, a larger customer, like so-called whales, and different types of customers, how much sales cycle there is, and it should be factored in instead of just kind of like making it like a linear assumption and saying you're going to scale, because it does require execution, right? It's not just about, money can come. That's in fact what the investors is looking for. I know many of them, like a fund, will already have like whatever it is, they raise $100 million. So it's not that they don't have money, but they want to make sure the money that is being given is going to be put to use to execute on the plan, right? So the plan is thought through, and there are actually, people have looked at the risks, right? In the presentation itself, I try to actually add a slide on risk, whatever it is, technology risk, market risk, growth risk. And, it's good to have those, because then the investor knows that you are looking at it. And then if you have some way to mitigate the risk as you move forward, I think that's very critical to have that. So I think, 3 years, 2 years of projections, and then, both the P&L and, so you have both the top line and bottom line, at least for 2 years. If it is going to be depending on the type of so for SaaS, SaaS companies, they have very specific metrics. So if you're a SaaS company, you should follow there are models there. So you should really stick to that, because they're going to ask you for very specific things like what is your churn and what is this and that. So if you don't have that and you go to an investor for SaaS, they know that you've not done your homework. But for other things, I think you can use, I think the key is that it needs to be practical, and then it includes like your hiring plan and, all those things as well, which need to kind of all come together. So before we take questions, I thought I'll share 2 slides very quickly, if I can. Just infographics. I thought those are kind of bring the everything in one place. So if I can share the screen, I'd like to show those.
Sure. Raghu, you have the co-host, right? So you should see a share screen.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's see here. So this is, I think, very nice slide, the hype cycle type of slide, which talks about what it takes to be a startup founder. I think it's very important to be prepared for the ups and downs when you're a founder. And I'll make these slides available, but basically, I think there is this peak, and then there is the trough, and then it kind of evens out as like all these hype cycles are. This is just from, where you are, and this trough of disillusionment is definitely going to happen. So be prepared for that. So that's the point of this. So there is this slide. This is what I was talking about, where it shows, everything in one page. This particular company happens to be in the regulatory space, just like Shailja. So they've given here like design, then clinical milestones, and then regulatory milestones. But for every company, these will be different, what the risks are and what the timeline is. And then here it shows the financial, Series A, B, C. I think going all the way to, Series D and all that is tough for a startup. I would just do maybe Series A and Series B. Seed, I would put seed here, seed and Series A. And then, other things can be just like, I think those should need to be in detail, seed and Series A. So then there's one more slide I wanted to, on the valuations. Okay, this is from a startup funding aspect. I thought this is a very good slide that shows, when you start up with the founder, 100% one idea, you get an idea, and then you kind of move through, maybe find some co-founders, and then, you raise the initial pre-seed money, maybe from family and friends. So like it says, 100% of nothing, do you want to get to something where, even like 1% of it is valuable? That's kind of the journey. So then there's family and friends, and then there's seed round where you get like, they may not be known to you. These are investors, mostly angel investors and, family offices and things like that. Series A, you want to get an institutional investor. By the time you get to Series A, you need to have a pretty fleshed out business plan and good market traction. I mean, the seed round, you have to be able to get there. And then, of course, there's a lot of more rounds, like I showed you. I think once you get to institutional investors, they're going to drive you. So you cannot lay back anymore. So the execution will be on, real fast track. So I thought there's also a couple of slides very quickly. The valuations have gotten hit right now, but this is one slide that kind of shows pre-money valuation for Series A, seed, Series A and B. Pre-seed is where I think most of the startups are. So pre-seed is kind of, I think you start off somewhere in the 2 to 3 million range. That's kind of where you go. But if you look at this from first quarter of 18 to fourth quarter of 22, it shows, this is based on I think more than 2,000 companies in the US. So it gives you some idea. But that being said, I also wanted to let you know that the valuations have dropped in quarter one dramatically. So you have to adjust for that. So there's been a really severe drop, especially in biotech and pharma and some of these areas. So I think that's all I wanted to say, and I think I will stop sharing here, and can take on questions.
Raghu, this was very helpful. I think we will open up for questions. I just want to very quickly summarize the points for people who are listening here. You talked about making sure that you talk about the opportunity and idea clearly. Describe your solution cohesively, not in too much detail. It has to be no more than one slide, maybe. If you can do a validation pilots of your idea to talk about the customer fit, show how you are going to show market opportunity fit by pilots, validation of some kind. Make sure you have advisory board, technical, scientific, business advisory board, and a good one. Make sure that you have outlined the risks properly, and be very open about those. Show 2 to 3 year projection, no more than that. That's important to show. A P&L, top down, bottoms up, if you can show that. And I think the last thing that you said very important was all in. At least the key people in the team need to be all in. And that's very important for an investor. So I hope I covered all the aspects, and this can be actually a chapter book for the pitch if people are listening and are planning to apply. And I think maybe with that, we can open for questions. We still have good 15 minutes left. If there are any questions that can be answered now, over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Shailja. Thank you, Raghu. We do have a couple of questions here. I think we can actually have them ask it, just to keep this more engaging. Kritika, do you want to share your question with the group?
Yeah, sure. First of all, this was a very insightful session. I know I joined a little late coming out of other meetings, but great to see everyone again. Thanks so much. And Raghu, it's wonderful to see you again.
I know we've been meaning to talk to each other, so we'll do that.
Yes, I'm so glad this happened. My question is something that I keep getting asked is, what are your terms whenever you go for raising? And what do you suggest? Because I'm somewhere right at that seed stage, a little bit coming out of pre-seed. So some people want me to do a price round. Some people say, no, you should do a convertible. Like I know Shailja has been through all of this, but what is that right thing? Or how should you hedge your answer? Because in some sense, what I really want is funding right now. I'm open to negotiating on the terms, but how do I look confident? And what are they expecting you to answer? Is my question.
Shailja, do you want to take it on? Because you've
I'll tell my perspective, and there can be multiple perspective. And Raghu said something very important. In today's time, every perspective is a different perspective, just because it's just so, as you said, rightly so. It's a very difficult and different time. But the advice that was given to me, that if you're not getting some good investors, like if it's just a friends and family kind of round, nobody cares about that price round, because you set the tone of that price round. These are your friends or families, and you told them you got to do this, and it's not a proper price round. In that case, you are better off taking a safe note, C note kind of situation. But when you have an institutional investor, and if they are interested, that point you do want to take a price round. So I would actually decide that based on, and another thing is, in today's time, you may feel that they're not valuing the way you want it, which is what is happening, frankly speaking. And investors are looking for a deal because they can get a deal in today's time. In that case, you may think about, I'll just do a C note because, I'm not getting what I think I should be valued at. Because everybody is getting 40 to 50% less than what they think or what they are asking for in evaluation. So two criteria, today's time, and then, but in case you are getting a good marquee institutional investor, even if you have to take a hit on your valuation, take it. Because Raghu had a slide, I hope everybody noted that, it depends on the size of the pie. Don't worry about taking the 100% of a no pie versus 10% of a bigger pie. So it depends who you're getting.
Got it. One quick follow on, how they say in the seed round, you need a lead investor. So say you're talking to a lead investor, that's when you go for a price round?
Yes, and depends who your lead is. But Raghu, your perspective too.
Yeah, I think lead investor, if you are lucky to get a lead investor right up front, that's great. So if you can get people in the seeds now, it's kind of a lot of VCs are investing at the seed stage. It's not anymore that, only for Series A they come in. So it will be good to, I think if you're going from pre-seed to seed, in the seed stage itself, try to get a good, investor. Maybe
Yes.
they may not be a lead investor, but if you have an institutional investor in seed seed stage, it helps set your, I think, professionalizes your everything, and gives you credibility when you go for a lead, because they know that an institutional investor has already come in. And and strategics are also good to get in at seed stage. So
I'll add to what Raghu said, absolutely. VCs are coming at seed stage because they want to spread their risk also to some degree in today's environment. In women, there are a lot of women funds that invest in women entrepreneurs. And typically these funds come in the seed round. They are VCs, but they are small check writers. So take them, because that sets a tone that, there was a women VC group and they saw value in your idea. I think it is really important. If you're getting that and they're not the terms that you like, it's okay.
Thanks, Shailja. Thank you, Raghu. That was useful.
Welcome.
Nivi, are there more questions?
Yeah, there was another person who had raised their hand. Was it Piyush? Piyush, do you have a question?
I had a question, but I kind of answered it myself. But I just wanted to say that the presentation was really great. I love the slides. I'm a co-founder of a medical device company, and we are a class 3 device. So as you can imagine, it's an incredibly tough and challenging environment to raise money. I like the slide that you had shown about the Mammo City, where they showed the regulatory and the funding raised all in one slide. I guess my question was, that slide can be scary for angel investors. And so how do you kind of navigate between being transparent and trying to show, I guess, early investors the upside that, we may not need all that money because we might exit early because strategics might acquire us before the launch. So how do you balance that? I mean, I like the slide, it was very detailed, but I think that would scare most of the angel investors.
Yeah, I think it is not so much about the exit, it's that you're creating value. It's a value creation slide. That's what it is. Okay. So it's not that you have to focus on exit, because if you're creating value, there will be a exit at any point, it can happen. So I think like I said, especially at startup stage, I would not worry too much about Series B and later. It's really up to Series A, that you have to focus, but you do have to, give enough detail. If somebody wants to go one level deeper, you should have, the data to show that. So I think, and it's not, that slide looks complicated even for, but it's if you spend time on the, the detail, and then it's easy to abstract it. It's you cannot go, top down. You have to come bottom up to that slide. So,
right. I think the scary part for angels, in my opinion, would be just how much money is needed on the top. Like, I love the bottom part because it talks about regulatory milestones separate from the clinical milestones, which are critical in medical devices. But the top part where it says, oh, you're going to need, I don't know, $35 million to get to Series D. I think that might be scary to angels. That's just my perception.
when you say scary, maybe if you can expand on that a little bit. I mean, I'm not quite getting. Yeah.
So what I mean is that the angels might think that, oh, you need too much money and you need too much time to create value. And they may not even have a second conversation if that slide is in a pitch deck, just based on how much money needs to be raised to hit those milestones.
I think actually the other way around, especially, I mean, I think like Shailja said, for angels and HNIs, in the beginning, you should raise some money on, either safe notes or something like that, where, you don't have to show all these details because they would not understand it even necessarily. But once you're looking for institutional investors, you have to have a plan, which shows more than just, very early stage. You need to be able to show at least, especially regulatory compliance. I mean, the clinical trials are expensive. There's no getting around it. You have to figure out how you're going to raise the money. So I think we have to show the whole picture. Otherwise, it's especially in a medical devices type company, you have to be funded so you have runway to go to the end. Otherwise, it's like there's so many companies that are not able to get to the next level. So I think Shailja can really relate to that.
Yeah, and Piyush, to Raghu's point, institutional investors know it. So if there is an institutional investor who is used to investing in biotech and medtech, they know that what are the stages, what's needed. They're very, very, or they even don't even enter in that area. So they know it. They love the fact that you are talking about it as well, and you are not blindsided. I would put a slide along with that, something that what is needed, that what could be your inflection points and what could be your exit points, right? So talk about like what is needed, and then every stage there is a exit opportunity or inflection point, and you talk about that too. Seed investors might have an opportunity when Series B, C, D comes with an institutional investor to get their money back, because typically when an investor is coming in Series C, they want the seed investors to go away and what we call clean the cap structure, right? So it's not, they don't have to be there till Series D and E. Typically they do get exit after B or C. So just show your exit plan too,
Right.
and that's okay.
Yeah, currently we do have the inflection exit point chart, but I think that I like the detail that was there on the slide presented. So thank you. This was actually very helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, don't get discouraged because biotech is just going through a bad phase. It will come back. People are just worried about like long pathway, and they're looking at like shorter turnaround and money. But I think next year onwards or towards the end of this year, things will start looking different.
And I think what Shailja said, you should be taking some, safe and convertibles now, so that you don't lock in the valuations at this point. So,
Thank you.
If anybody else has a question, please go ahead, raise your hand and ask your questions. We are about 3 minutes from closing, but I think it's a great opportunity that you all ask questions and everybody gets to learn. So please go ahead and ask your questions.
From Soma here. I'm just looking at the chat.
Right. I think
Soma left.
Oh, Soma left. Okay.
Yeah, we will find out. I think what she's asking is she hasn't commercialized her idea. I know what she's working on, but I think it's still a good opportunity for people to apply and pitch at whatever stage of your journey you are, because you can use this platform as a learning opportunity to get feedback and get real industry feedback from our charter members and other judges who will be part of this pitch competition.
The NGO, just because it's it's been through an NGO or not for profit, doesn't mean that it's not providing benefit. But if it has been tested and there is a commercial opportunity, it's even better because it's already been tested through the non-profit. So I think that's fine. So I mean,
That's right.
Of course, the investors are going to want a commercial outcome. So,
and I also want to let the audience know that TiE also has a social entrepreneurship special interest group at the global level. So if you are working in the NGO sector, I think there are fantastic opportunities in that area also in the developing world. Is that right, Raghu?
Absolutely. I think the social entrepreneurship, actually social entrepreneurship means it is a commercial thing, but it's also creating change, So, I mean, there are Series B type companies also. I mean, B Corps, or as they call it, right? So there are, tremendous opportunities available. So but it has to be articulated, the plan. So.
This is terrific. Thank you so much, Shailja and Raghu and Niv, Prema. Terrific session. As I said earlier, our executive director, Neetu, is very committed to this initiative. It's close to her heart. And so is Suresh Kumar, our incoming president, who will be president effective July 1st. In fact, Neetu, I think he's the one who suggested that we fund the winner's airfare so that they could go to Singapore and participate in this contest. So he's very committed to it. And Shailja, Prema, thank you for constructing this safe place for women entrepreneurs to exchange views, fill any learning gaps that they may have and benefit from each other's experience, and for aspiring women entrepreneurs as well. So for those two, I think if you are a woman entrepreneur or an aspiring women entrepreneur, there's no safer or better launching pad for you than TiE. And if you happen to be in the vicinity, TiE New Jersey should be your launching pad. So thank you all for a wonderful session. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raman.
Thank you,
Okay.
everyone. I'm
Raghu.
happy to share the slides. I think I've sent it to Neetu. I'll actually add those graphics and send it to you. So
That'd be terrific.
That'll be great.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Raghu.
so much for
Dev.
joining the call.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
bye for now.
Thank you so much, Raman.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Aruna, if I'll stay on for a couple of minutes.